The following program is sponsored by The Greek, Ely's Radio Shack dealer at 570 Altman in downtown Ely, and brought to you as a public service by Georgetown Media in Ely, Nevada. White Pine County Commission meeting, April 14th, 2021. Good morning.
All right, good to see you. Good to see you again, I know.
Yeah, apparently I had it in storage for too long. Either that or Kate put a dead battery in it. So I have to get another battery.
Just in case. You never know.
But the only time I see you during the week is at the restaurant up there. I love that place. Mine too, I love that place.
Whenever you're ready, Richard.
Okay, everybody else is ready? Good morning and welcome to the April 14th regular scheduled meeting of the White Pine County Commission. And would you all please stand up and join us in the pledge? Lori, why don't you do this today?
Thank you, Lucky, please. I
pledge
pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, as is normal, we'll take this first moment for prayer, meditation, or whatever you'd like. And so the first moment of the meeting is for that. Okay, we're going to the meeting, and right now we'll temporarily recess the regular county commission meeting for a regular meeting of the White Pine County Fire Commission on page 2A 905. First item in
We do public comment first.
Okay, I knew you did that. Okay, the first thing will be public comment. Is there any public comment on the phone? Okay, come on forward.
Good morning, Chairman and Commission. I'm Luigi Resta, the president of R Plus Energies, and here on behalf of White Pine Pump Storage. Thank you guys again for the continued support. I'm not on the agenda, but just wanted to give a general update. I thought it would be useful for you, the Commission, and the public. The project has been moving forward tremendously, although you might not see a lot of actions happening here. We have had a lot of consultants on site actually doing the work. And I know a lot of the public comment that we've discussed over the last year and a half is the project moving forward too fast, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done. That work is happening now. As an example, yesterday we had, I think, 25 people out here in Ely viewing the site, different consultants, biologists, cultural, doing lek studies, and engineers, engineers for the dam and safety, for the boring, the geotech, transmission line corridor. So a bunch of specialists have come in, and part of this is to develop the project in a thoughtful way so that it is consistent with a lot of the ideals of the community, and also meets the obligations of building a safe and sustainable project. So that work has happened, or is ongoing and starting to happen. Part of this will be developing, visual images of the project, which is something that's been discussed, socioeconomic impacts of the project, which is all underway. So we're really excited about that, and the fact that the engineers and all the people that have come and said, continue to say this is a great site in a great location and has all the characteristics that we're looking for. So that's good. I was talking to Commissioner Goodman this morning. I think yesterday we had, like I said, 28 people from out of town, so that's additional hotel nights. The environmental people have been here now twice on 2 field studies, and they have another one planned before the end of May. We're working with BLM to try and get the permit to be able to actually do the next exploratory geotech ore samples, which is really critical. And then also working with you, the commission, and the public to, ideally what I'd like to do is set up a public meeting, a picnic or a barbecue at some point after May 1st to present the project and make sure that all the public has the opportunity to learn about the details of how the steps that need to be taken to bring this project to a fruitful completion. So it is still 3 years of engineering and consulting work before we would even have a project. So understand that we have years to go, but we are starting the steps. And that's really in large part to the support that we've gotten from you guys, the commission as well. Hopefully we'll get the railroad and the city on board. I think this is a good project, and our goal is, again, to be good stakeholders with the community, with all of the stakeholders here, not just the commission, but the railroad and the city and the lumberyard or whoever it might be. So again, thank you for your time. You know how to reach me if you have any questions, and appreciate you guys and all the work you do.
Thank you,
Thanks, Luigi.
Is there any other public comment in the building? Any on the phone, Mike? Nothing on the phones or anyone else in the meeting? Seeing none, George?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I want to remind you, after the last meeting, Dr. Coons said that Governor Sisolak's Directive 024, Section 5, still in place. Mr. Bullis is still without a mask, and whatever he suffered from, evidently 4 others are following the same conditions. We got to stop that. Either we have rules or regulations or we don't. Mr. Chairman, I want to remind you that I've not received any written statements regarding the numerous concerns that I brought before the County Commission for the past several months, possibly a year. I deserve more than a cold shoulder. I want equal protection under the law. Mr. Chairman, I want to remind you that I've not heard anything back on whether the golf course has paid for the 111 million gallons of water that they've used and not been billed for. I want to know if they paid any account fees and or interest as other citizens are required to do. Mr. Chairman, on your agenda item 2B4C, you're to approve to close the County Commission meeting for a closed personnel session. I still do not see Brad Christensen on the list. I remind you that he has selectively enforced law, and I have yet to receive proper repairs on my building at 570 Altman. When I complained, he stated that I hired a poor contractor. I remind you, I didn't give him the license. You folks did. I'm required to buy a permit for protection. The inspector should have stopped the job and made the required corrections. He approved the job, I continue to suffer. The city council meeting, I told you, he told me, F you, F&T, and later at another meeting, his wife called me an anal opening. You commissioners are used to being called things such as that. I am not, especially from a public employee. You need to talk to your HR director and follow your personnel manual. I want equal protection under the law. Mr. Chairman, I'm requesting the contact names and addresses to which the county directs its requests for funding for SNFLMA grants. Also, your comments that were submitted to each particular request. Mr. Chairman, on your agenda, item 1B1, you would consider public comment regarding, I'm going to hold off till that comes up. Mr. Chairman, on your 2B4A, you reconsider the ratification of amendment to an agreement with SNFLMA, the Nevada Northern Railway Phase 2 project regarding funding for the correction of additional walkways and other items. Some of the walkways that were installed were not installed per ED City code. They were installed with asphalt and not concrete as required. Those portions that were improperly installed need to be corrected first, and then you can consider additional walkways to be installed using concrete as required by the code. Mr. Chairman, on your agenda, item 2B4D regarding the possible approval of preliminary budget, I still do not see a victim's fund identified in any of the departments ranging from the district attorney, the district courts, sheriff's department, the juvenile division, or economic development. I pay thousands of taxes and to support all these county functions. I'm a victim and I want equal protection under the law. Mr. Chairman, on your agenda, item 2B4E, you consider the approval resolution 2021-25 dealing with repairs to County Road 1177. That should be addressed by Western Oil. County equipment and personnel should not be used to assist a private business. That's a state law.
Okay, you're 3 minutes up, George.
Yours or not. I need some answers. How long do I have to wait?
You're 3 minutes up.
You need to give me some kind of courtesy, Mr. Chairman. I come here.
George, your 3 minutes are up.
Thank you.
I need some answers from you also, sir.
Okay. Is there any other public comment on the phone? In the building? Hearing none, seeing none, we'll move on. At this time, we'll recess, now we'll recess the county commission meeting and open up the regular meeting for the White Pine County Fire Commission meeting. On page 2, item A, and now we have public comment during the fire commission meeting. Is there any public comment during the fire commission meeting? Anyone? George?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I want to reiterate that concern on Avenue D. I don't know how many times I'm going to bring it up to you. Again, either we have rules and regulations or we don't. You have a $12 million property there that's not going to be properly protected. Those accesses, ingresses on Avenue D and Highway 93 are way too narrow, don't meet code. Again, either you get people who know what they're doing or you don't. If you allow this to continue, I'll find another source to file a complaint. But you need to address it. If you don't, the complaint is going to include you and the commission. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comment during the fire commission meeting? Seeing none and hearing none, we'll move on to item, on page 2, item 1. It's this discussion update on fire district progress. Brett North, Fire Chief, and Pat Stewart, ED Volunteer Fire.
Morning. Pat's on a call and he was unable to make it, so he didn't have much, just the ongoing training weekly at the fire station up there. They got a trainer class going on today through Saturday for EMS. So we'll have more instructors in the county. And we got 3 people from the county going to it, and then they've got 3 or 4. So we'll be set up pretty good on instructors. Apologize for the old school reports. I forgot to email the other one.
No problem.
Any questions on any of them?
I just want to commend you, Brent, just for all the new volunteers and apparatus you have going all over the county, and great to see, so greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, we're trying to get an ambulance here and there and everywhere, so. One from Duckwater come back, they never did use it, so we're gonna probably put it over Papuana. Start running the ambulance out of there. We got 5 EMTs over there now. So that's going pretty good.
Do you think Duckwater would come back and say, now I want the ambulance again? Or why don't they want it? We did that for the Highway 6, didn't we?
Well, the guy took it, and all the EMTs quit.
Oh, okay.
So if it comes back, all the EMTs go back, so. I don't know what's going on down there. We're gonna start an EMR class at Station 1. Rod Gamble's gonna be doing that. Be starting on May 8th. Getting our training license back for the EMS training center license so we can start doing our own EMS classes. We're gonna wait till we renew the license at the end of June now to do that, so otherwise we 200 and we have to turn around and do it again. April 24th, the mobile vaccination unit from the state's gonna be set up at PLC, doing Pfizer vaccinations. They'll be there from 7 in the morning to 7 at night, so that's open 16 and up. So that just comes about this last couple of days, so. Other than that, that's about it.
16?
24th,
No,
16 and
16-year-olds?
up, yeah.
I think we need to advertise that as on the radio
Shannon,
and the whole high
Brad's
school.
working on that.
Okay, in high school, so we get the word out that it'll be here.
Yeah,
It's open for everybody.
so, yeah, they're doing the advertising for it, so.
And the rural hospital mentioned so far as our opening plan.
Yeah, they signed it, got it to me yesterday.
Yes. Well, I just thought that the rest of it, you know, that,
Yeah, it's all up to state now, so
okay,
see what they say tomorrow.
all right.
All right, other than that, that's about it.
We got anything for Brett? Okay,
Appreciate all the good work. Thanks, Brett.
I need a copy of your handouts.
Huh?
I need a copy of your handouts. Thank you.
we're still on page 2, and it's item 2, discussion for possible action, the approval of changes to the Board County Commissioner preliminary budget previously presented to finalize the FY 2022 tentative budget revenues and expenses on the White Pine County Fire Protection District. Elizabeth?
Thank you. I was not asked to make any changes between what I presented last time and what I presented for the tentative. I think I still have some more numbers coming in from Brett, but those aren't available, and those were specifically related to the capital improvements, and I apologize if anybody sent me emails Monday and Tuesday of this week. I was off and did not see those yet. So what we're proposing for the fire district at this point is $721,193 in revenue and $742,404 in expenditures for a utilization of fund balance of $21,211. That will leave including your $1 million for catastrophic loss, $1,452,317. I'd like your permission to go ahead and file that as the tentative budget. We still will have opportunities to go ahead and amend between now and final, and because this is a legislative year, if there is legislation passed that would impact how we operate the fire district, we could amend one more time after that based on legislation. Have any questions?
Anyone got anything for Elizabeth on the fire district? Hearing none? We'll move on.
Wait,
Go
one
ahead.
second, sorry, I put my mask on. The only thing I think that we might look at and, is getting with Eureka to see if there's any thought to move forward this year as far as capital improvement on the, Cherry Creek, not Cherry Creek, Cold Creek.
Gold Creek, yeah.
And I can give you some, numbers who's taking, Ron DeMolly's place. He was overwhelmed. I did meet with him
Mhm.
a couple of weeks ago, I guess it was.
Yeah, we need to get with JJ on that.
Yeah, between the two of them,
Yeah,
so, okay, that's all. I just thrown that out there to see if that's something. Elizabeth, go ahead and put that number, but in the meantime, we can go ahead and see if there's any appetite to do anything this year,
Okay.
okay? All right, thanks.
Anyone else?
Move to approve.
Motion by Travis to approve,
Second?
second by Lori. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Passed unanimous. Item 3, discussion for possible action, the approval of an interlocal contract between the Nevada Division of Forestry and White Pine County for the wildland Land Fire Protection Program effective July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2023 at a rate of $13,496 for FY 2022 and $13,496 for FY 2023, but not to exceed $29,996. Brett?
Yeah, apparently it's went down substantially from what originally, I wasn't here when you done it. First one at 19, so I don't know exactly what it was, but he did say the cost of it went down. And this is just that. So if we get a fire on county land, they'll pay for it, so we don't have to come up with the money. Plus we get lots of training and equipment opportunities out of it too.
Elizabeth, did you see the contract on this? I just was surprised by the amount so far as inspections and audits and all the paperwork and everything is, I don't know if you guys read that.
Yeah.
I guess that's typical so far as, I don't know.
I haven't had an opportunity to compare this to the last contract, but that's
I
pretty
imagine
much
it's probably
standard
similar.
language.
Okay. Yeah, books and records and just, there was like quite a bit, so, okay. It almost seemed invasive. I mean, I'm all about transparency, but it was like, this is more like insurance
Yeah.
in case something happens, so,
So that's all I got on it.
okay.
Any other questions on this? For a motion to approve.
Motion to approve?
Motion by Lori,
Second.
second by Travis. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Passed unanimous. Item 4 is discussion for possible action, the approval of a proclamation in support of the Nevada Wildfire Awareness Campaign for the period of May through October 2021. I have a motion to approve a proclamation to support that. Motion by Ian,
Second.
second by Lori. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Passed unanimous. Somebody's phone's on. Item 5, discussion for possible action, the approval of monthly financial reports for March 2021. Elizabeth?
Thank you. They're in your backup materials, in their regular format, and I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any. Otherwise, I'd ask for your approval.
Anyone got any questions on the report? Hearing none, I'll look for a motion to approve. Motion by Ian,
Second.
second by Travis. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None? Passed unanimous. Item 6 is discussion for possible action, the approval of the minutes from the following fire commission meetings, March 10th, 2021, and the special joint meeting of March 24th, 2021. Do I have any additions, corrections, or subtractions on this?
Motion to approve March 10th, 2021, and the special joint meeting March 24th, 2021.
Motion by Lori. Second by Ian. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Passed unanimous. Last thing on the fire commission meeting is public comment. Do we have any public comment on the fire commission meeting? Hearing none? None on the phone either, Mike? So we'll recess, or we'll close the fire commission meeting, and we'll reopen the county commission meeting. And because we have timed item at 9:30 is next on the list, we'll find something further down the road to take care of. How about 10 o'clock, last time?
The treasurer is here to help with the 9:30 stuff. Maybe you could take her elected officials items on page 2A,
Yeah, I was just looking
page
at
4.
Okay, we'll go to page 4, and we'll do, see, Catherine Packard is A1. It's discussion for possible action, the approval of an affidavit of delinquent tax letters sent out by the treasurer's office by April 5th, 2021.
So, good morning. It's pretty self-explanatory. We do this every year. It just shows you how many taxpayers we had with first, second, and third year delinquent notices, how many I received back in the mail over the month, and how many I was able to send back out. So it's just required by NRS. And you sign it, and we
Ian,
with the clerk.
Second?
second by Lori. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Passed unanimous. Item B is discussion only of the monthly treasury reports from July 2020 through January 2021.
So prior to this, I would combine with Elizabeth's reports every month, but since the new systems came, I haven't been doing that. And so I finally gotten through both systems and figured out where to get that information. So those are just basically like what Elizabeth does with the financial statements, but my side of it. So it just shows you everything that we received in and our bank balances. And I'd be happy to answer any questions. That'll start to get to be on the agenda monthly, and I'll, you guys can just let me know if you have questions.
Anyone got anything for Catherine? It's just a discussion item, so thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
We got a few minutes, so we'll just continue right down. Nicole, page 4, item B, 1. Let's see, number 2, Nicole Baldwin, County Clerk. A is a discussion for possible action, the approval to appoint Ross Rivera to the Water Advisory Committee as an alternate and to the LEPSI Committee representing the Shoshone Tribe.
Yes, Ross put in a couple of applications. Apparently he's working for the tribe now, and he will be the primary voting member on LEPSI and as the alternate to Water Advisory Committee. The other member representing the tribe for those two boards is Shania Marks, and they have that worked out, so we're asking for your approval for that.
Any questions? Okay, I'll look for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve?
Motion by Lori. Second by Ian. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Passed unanimous. Still got a couple of more minutes.
Yeah, still take that.
Yeah, we'll just keep on the same page. 4, Department Heads, Lori Romero, Senior Program Administrator. Item A is discussion for possible action, the approval to accept Aging and Disability Services NSIP grant in the amount of $13,388 for commodities with no required match.
Good morning. This is what we refer to as NISP. It stands for Nutritional Supplement Incentive Services. And it's basically always used for raw commodities, and that's all it can be used for, and there is no match.
Anybody got a question on this? If not, I'll look for a motion to approve. Motion by Ian. Second by Travis. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Passed unanimous. We'll go to item 2, Bill Calderwood. A is a discussion for possible
Excuse
action.
me, Mr. Chairman, he stepped outside the DA. Can you take the next one?
Tim Bunch, yeah. We'll go with Tim. Approval of an amended job description for Public Works Lead Supervisor, formerly called the PW Crew Leader on the roads, and reviewed for accuracy by Public Works Director and Human Resources.
Good morning. If you'll notice in your backup material, the red line version of the job description, this job description previously was the crew leader. There's a few changes on here. There's not a lot as far as responsibilities, but a lot of it has to do with wording. Just want to make sure that we've got it current so that I can present it back to Martin for his acknowledgement.
Did you get with Martin?
Martin and Bill both have reviewed this. This is the finalized, reviewed by both entities, so yeah, everybody's on the same page.
He's asked me about that.
Yep.
Right on. Move to approve.
Okay, a motion by Travis,
Second?
second by Lori. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Passed unanimous.
Thank you.
Bill, did you come back in?
No, he did not.
Okay. Okay, we'll stay on. Well, we'll wait for Elizabeth. Let's go.
Pursue consent agenda?
Yeah, let's do the consent agenda. Anything on the consent agenda on page 6?
No, that was a really good letter that went to the Sniffleman people.
Okay, I'll look for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve?
Motion by Lori, second by Ian. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Passed unanimous.
Thank you, Nicole, for addressing that.
I think one thing we can do,
You A and B and 4, and should be good.
A and B for Elizabeth,
No, under untimed,
on page, what page?
under the consent agenda, page 6.
Okay. Okay, we're on page 6, and item 4 is a notice of untimed